Well,
The Bluetooth device has disconnected.
it should be live now anyway. This is Sparta! Hello? Yes, we've been a red light affair. But here I come. Late as usual. But, the good guys aren't always on time. I put my sword away for now. Battling the demons of everyday life. And this flashing must be annoying as hell. Well, that's what hell would be like. As you get closer to the flames, they burn hotter and more brighter. And then you're in. And you're gone. And that's the end of you. Alright. But enough of that doom and gloom. Yes, a bit of light coming in from the outside light. Door is open. So it's a bit cool. Let's put some light on the subject, as God would say. There we go. Well, I don't expect everyone to be here, or anyone to come actually. But I'll continue on. Because if you continue on, you are not a failure. Regardless. Plus, everyone that watches me is over the other side of the world at work. Or on the other side of Australia, asleep. I think the only one close to me is Yaska, on the north side of the river. I've offered to meet him, but I think he's a little bit reluctant. It's a lack of faith, see? You can't take it that this average, ordinary guy with a white mask and a hat on is the dude. The dude that he claims he is. Now, if I was really crazy, right, and you saw kind of think in your head, well, he can't be really the Archangel Michael because he's got no wings and he's got none of the airy fairy stuff that we've all been taught about. That's because you've been taught wrong, for a start. You've been taught like the minds of a troll. Minds of a troll, see? He's susceptible to anything, any hype that comes his way. Don't believe the hype. Well, the first type of hype is all that imagery, all those stories, other than the Bible itself. Are you going to take someone's word for it because they say so? You believe half what you hear, half of what you see, and half of what you read. Because all forms are easily made to be deceiving in many ways, such as your stage magician. He tricks you with your eyes, your ears, and, well, he uses his hands. So we're going to still ask, is this the guy? Well, you can get rid of that now, because he is the guy. The only one that God is sending. No, when the human race actually wakes up to itself and works out the whole concept of God in a total, you would actually understand it just as easy as I know it. Just as easy as I know it. And that is, well, how can I say? He's a general. God is the great general, the general of all. And gripes go up, they never come down. Now, I was on that, whatever app with that Brian who goes with all those girls. It's a pretty popular app. Now, I know him a little bit. He reads my stuff simply because through Chloe and Roma when she was on there. She told him who I was, which is really nice of her. But anyways, I told him, I said, well, what, now he's talking about the type of woman he would like, like she has to be a bit of a maid, bowing and scraping type of thing. And the girls said, oh, carry on about that, just, you're very, like they do, back and forth on that show. And then the point come up. The point that they say, no, God, he's not like that. And I said, oh, really? Oh, really? God's not like that, is he? Well, and they said, oh, he can't be a male. And I said, well, that's wrong too. Because have a look how they got you bowing and scraping in the churches and all the religions that pray to God. And if he's really accepting that, well, isn't he the man on top and he's all bowing down and scraping? So there's no difference really, if you want to look at it like that. And it's not a matterism of sex. Who's this and who's that? Because God is the infinite one. And he's that powerful that, well, at the moment we consider him a he. Who knows, in 1,000 years' time, he might become a she. It's God's choice. If anything, if you know anything about God, he made us in his image. Well, if you look at some of the gods out there, then that must mean he's some sort of dual sex being. Because he made women as well. He didn't just make man. And man, well, I can't see that. I see that's a little bit of a piss fart around from the church myself. Not quite what I know myself, personally. Because he wouldn't have cloned the women from our rib. Because that means that we're basically having sex with ourselves, but a female version. Because where's he got the other half? He needs to pass through DNA. Even God knew this. That's why he had to have Mary, the vessel, when he got the seed put into her. And Jesus came along. See, that's where he's get that wrong too. They cut that woman right out of the shop. This is all a family affair, guys. It's all about family. One big happy family floating around on this ark of an earth throughout the universe. A little pill with more life in a drop of water than we found in the entire solar system. Let's get God into the chat. But first, a little more light for God, because he's coming now. And God's light is so infinite, you can't actually put your eyes on him. Oh, that's pretty bright. Because God's power is so powerful, you can't even really talk to him. He has to do it through the mind. He can't talk to you, because he talks, he just blow you away. He's that powerful, that radiant, and that strong. Only Lucifer, his son, after his tongue was cut, ascended to the top of that throne and spoke to his father. I kind of know what was said, but no one does really, except God and his son Lucifer, the firstborn, the one that's supposed to take over eventually. But that might not be the case. No father wants their son to fall, so we'll see what goes on there. He might not, and God might have to sit up there forever. Just how the rules are played. But he was the firstborn. He's just trying to jump the gun before he gets his chance. Well, here we go. Bit more echo. Here we go, the Lord's Prayer. This goes out to all those children that are suffering in war. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but to deliver us from evil. Hail Mary, full of grace. Amen. I see a few people popping in and out, in and out, in and out. Still not sure what this guy is all about. Have a little look. Oh my God, he's got this mask. Oh, that's who he is. Not a question mark. But if you pop in and have a look, you could put a like, because I just consider you as one of those. Popping in. I know trolls pop in to see what I do. They don't pop in long enough. They just want to check me out, and they know if they don't stay less than 30 seconds, I don't get a view. So I say that's from a certain type of crew. A certain dead bird, flappy type of people. But it could be 14-year-old Roblox players. How do I know? Yes, YouTube's for you. YouTube, eh? Well, Roblox, now known by the FBI America as the biggest platform on earth where pedophiles, that's right, YouTube, the word pedophile, because it is a correct word, it describes the people. I am not going to use any other words other than the connection words. You know my policy. I know yours. But you know my policy. Your policy stops the kids from learning. This is the biggest platform in the world for learning, YouTube, and kids can get into my content regardless of the child lock. And you know this to be true. So these kids need to know the right connection words. And the right connection words for these people is the word pedophile, not chomo, or something that we have to try and explain what it is to the kids. It sounds like a clown. It's a pedophile. And that's what they are. Huh? That's the connection word. That's part of why I will keep going on these lives. I will keep saying this to YouTube simply because it is the right thing to do. How can our kids place evil or face evil if they can't place the evil? Now, by placing the evil, you say, oh, that's a chomo over there, and they look at it, it's like, oh, chomo sounds like a clowno. I know it's a word that the guys have had to use, and we use it regularly like as an anger thing. But to me, it sounds like Chomo the clown. You know what I'm saying? Chomo the chicken. Doesn't sound like someone that's a predator. Whereas pedophile, even a young child looks up at that. What's that? What's that? I said, well, that's a bad thing. And then they'll always rectify that as a bad thing. The connection words. So then they can see someone and they say, oh, that guy, he's been, oh, okay. I am not going to undemonize demons. God has a policy. Protect life. Those that wish to mess around with children are going against this policy. If they actually hurt the children or sexually assault the children in a pedophilic way, which is what they do, which is the right words, because this is what they do, right? Touch that child inappropriately by the laws determined in the countries, which some countries are ridiculous, then God will send them straight to hell. They don't get to go and ask for redemption. You're messing around with the next life, God's life. God is looking after you in more ways than you possibly understand. This channel's contents, including but not limited to text images and videos, are the property of Michael, Archangel Michael, Michael the Archangel, and SPARTA, and protected under the Copyright Act. Reproduction or distribution of any part of this copyrighted content without my permission is prohibited. And those that have my permission, they can use it anytime they want, even though they don't. They don't. They like some of my stuff, but they don't like some of my stuff. I'm a bit controversial, a bit out there. A bit, woo, they reckon, oh, he's a bit fanciful, but everything might be done in a fanciful way. But I can read it like a book, what it is, and I can tell you exactly what I'm talking about. Now, I sat down there with my family online and showed them all my shorts, and I say, what's the meaning of this? And I'll explain. and I now get a good vision of what's been going on. And I'll say, oh my God, he's got a full record of everything that we've been doing, everyone's movements, everyone's names. Certain items in those videos remind me of people's names, not so much the movement in the film. I'm quite smart in how I devise these things, even with the music. Even with my 4 years of Big Dicks. That's quite a popular little short. I got 4 years to run that. How about that? I bet you he gets out in 3 with a good slap on the wrist for good behavior as he eats his pizza and his McDonald's right now, eating ice cream. See, those types of prisons, softcore, if you've got the money to be self-sufficient, they'll let you have your own little domicile and be self-sufficient within the prison system. Even in the prison farms out here in Warraloo, you've got ones doing the hardcore down the bottom, which is not really hardcore because there's a sheep fence, and it's pretty much the honor system, right? And you've got regular masters, so it's up to you. You wouldn't be stupid. They're giving you, when they put you out in places like that, they're giving you responsibility that you're not going to take off, but you're going to save your time and be a good lad. But that's good too, because it's only about 10 k's down from El Cabello Blanco. Little girls push bike in the bush there with a bag of clothes. In between muster, zip down, get a couple of bags of goon, zip back, hide them in the bush, and go and get them at night and have a little yes, and then back to a muster. There's all an honor system out there, Warraloo. And then if you can afford to, you had the dongers up there where you have your conjugal visits, where a guy, he actually had his wife come and stay in the prison for 2 days. Because they got their own little units up there, they're self-sufficient. So that's a very lax prison. When I went to Warraloo, it used to be a bit harder, but it's kind of lax. Prison farm. I had a lot of fun out there. But there used to be a old mental asylum where they used to have all the mental patients. And old mental used to go around with a pill tray, all the pill bottles, and you hear them clanking. Well, her ghost still haunts that place. And you hear that cruising along, going over the lumps in the concrete. You hear that coming. I thought, okay, I believe in ghost stories, but I was kind of don't until I find out myself. And I found out myself. Oh, yes. That's a very real thing. That lady's very real. I never got to see her, but I heard that bloody tray coming click, 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 get closer, closer. And I just waited at the door. And the guy that was in the cell with me, he said, no, you've got ready to chuck the sheets over his head. Don't do that, buddy, I reckon. So I opened the door anyway, and all I got was a cold mist come in. Very cold out there, because you're right out in the middle of the bush, too. In the hills. So, yes, she's very cold. And, yes, just the slow mists run around. And, oh, my God, I thought, yeah, I'm closing this, because that's freezing cold. And I closed it, and I was got to sit back on the bed. Next minute, I heard the pill things right at the front of the door. Stopped when I opened it. And I just felt the coldness, and I didn't step outside. I just opened the door and just felt the rush of cold breeze. Like, whoa, nah, I better not. Things tell you sometimes you better not. And I closed the door, and then the pill thing started. I sat on my bed and I thought, well, and I heard it go chink, chink. So she was watching me from outside and then continued on from out the door. And that's when, I went a bit, all goosebumps all over me then. But yes, that little pill lady, she's real. Real as. It's like the 3 nurses out at York mission out there. Another crazy farm. A guy got out with an axe and beheaded 3 nuns. And those 3 headless nuns often inhabit that old York hospital. It burnt down now. They used to have it as a school camp. But they burnt down. Well, the chat should be on. Show every message. Yeah. Should be on, guys. Oof. Oh, well. In and out. Don't know what this archangel is all about. I know my friends, they'll be working. And they'll probably just be getting on about a smoke or break or tea break, working their 9 to 5 jobs. Auntie Lee and Piggy Eyes and all that. And these are all old ladies. Oh, not old ladies, but getting there. Oh, African American black ladies over in America. Good friends, good people, funny. I like them. I like them all, the family. It's not just because they're black or white or yellow or brindle or a woman or a man. It's because they're friendly, they're kind, and most of them seem genuine and honest. That's hard to find. And I know Jag. I know Jag's been going for a while online. I know she's been through mod and mod and mod and mod. Even got a couple claim that she's got the best moderators ever. Well, I don't aspire to doing better than any other moderator. That's not my job. My job is just to be a moderator and to be a friend. Yes, people say, oh, he doesn't quite moderate like he should do. Well, I don't. I moderate like I do. As simple as that. I speak to her like she's a friend. I get that privilege. She allows me that. If she doesn't want me to do it, she says, don't do that. And Jag, she'll be straight to the point, straight out. And if they really don't want me doing it, well, they'll just send me an email from Odell and that's it. They'll say, oh, not, you got to pull back the reins. But basically, they just let me be a rogue. I know the flow of the blows simply because I'm streetwise. I'm smart. All right, yes. See you guys. Or the YouTube play around trick and let's have a look. Because I noticed you playing with me. Okay, that's good. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that's another strike on the. Yes, that's keeps coming in and out. That one. Bloody Temu and bloody Amazon. Ridiculous. Okay. What have I got? I'm going to stay on for at least now. I've only been on 23 minutes. I'll take a little break to go get a drink in a second. Not too many people coming in. Someone's dropped in for a like. That's obviously someone of the family on lunch or working. Okay, the truly intelligent person is one who can pretend to be a fool in front of a fool who plays at being intelligent. The most intelligent person or people quickly realizes the limitations of how smart they are, if they're truly smart. You've got some people that are that far up themselves, and this will give you to show you how far up their souls are. That lump in their throat is their own nose. That's how far up they are. That's pretty far up. They're almost fucking totally in. Almost to the tonsils. It's not the strongest of the species that survives. Oh no. That's not the case at all. Nor it is the most intelligent. Mixture of both, maybe, but not one or the other, generally. The most that is acceptable to surviving is those that will change. Got a strong one, he's too strong. Hello, Golden Queen. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you've been well. Hope you've been well. It's been a hectic little time. Everyone's going off on their own little tangents. I hope you're not getting attacked in that. And yes, just to let you know, I have to I got to keep me and your stuff, just me and you. When we go on, when I do your stuff, it's just got to be me and you. You know what I mean? I can't have any of the other bloody mods jumping in and now doing backflips and shit like that no more. So I take a little bit of offense to things. So I don't want to create any disharmony between my generals, because that's what you're going to be. You're going to stay a general whether you like it or not. You become a Spartan, you're always going to be one. That's it. Otherwise, may you live forever. Well, you get that. You get that. But Archangel Michael has to be for all, or he's for none. You know? Oh, that's just the way it is, you know. That's the way it is. Okay? Some people, that's just the way they are. I mean, shit, I can't tell you to like some people I like, and I can't tell them to like you if they don't like you, you know? That's just, I tried, but you get that. People will learn one day. But the thing is, regardless, you've all got a bit of a good message. You've all got the right path. You're all Spartans. So I don't see any harm in me jumping around and talking to people. People find that weird because, well, it's kind of unheard of. People will say, oh, you jump and talking to them, then you're obviously against us. And that's how it's been on YouTube. Well, I haven't experienced that yet. The only person I really experienced it from was at the beginning. From old Deadbird. Oh, Deadbird. It was still going, apparently. Back in the good old days, when it was easy to manipulate someone with a few cartoons, you know. That was funny, that one. Kept her blind to bloody Danny, and Danny just tush. Now, if anyone would think that we was working together, but no, I just seen the flow of the blow. It's just about being smart, working things out, and sitting back and watching. I have my own strange way, but I know what's going on. And experience, too. Being 50 years of age, I've experienced many types of people and character. And I can put people into characters and into categories. Not so much for race or sex and that types of thinking. No, that one's a fuckwit, and that one's, he's right. That type of thing, you could generally tell a crackhead, scratching the hair and doing all kinds of things. And then you could tell the difference between someone that's on the uppers and the downers. You could tell the difference between when I drive behind someone, I see the way they're going in the car, and I'll say, like the partner or whoever, oh, he's going to turn left. How do you know? Next minute they turn the indicator on and they go left. Just that used to watching people's habits on the road. It's just funny that. To me, it's easy. I probably talk like everyone should be able to do it, but I realize not everyone can. And when I talk about it, because they can't do it themselves, they say, well, how do you know? You're just judging people. No, you'll find out I'm pretty much generally right. They say you can't judge a book by your cover. Well, you can judge them by their character and their actions. And like I said, growing up on the streets is growing up on the streets. Especially in westernized countries, well, Australia, that's got the population of one of your bloody cities over in America, basically, in the whole country. But we've experienced it we got that multiculturalism. We've experienced it on the same level, but not as the high, packed up bloody order people level. But we experienced the same thing. The same thing you guys are going through, just a different level. We got a lot more area out here. We don't have the gun laws like you guys have got. So that's a bit of a worry over there, that gun one. I like that one Friday. Well, like the old man said, you don't need the gun, son. Just put them down, and you put these two up, and you might win some, you might lose some, but you live to fight another day. People are too quick to grab that gun. And I mean, even though they win, and I'll get that, but my nephew says, oh, but even if they shoot you, they still win. I said, I know that. But the fact that morally, even if they win, and you die, morally, you've got them beat because you offered him up with your fists, and he goes and pulls out a gun because he's a weak cunt. Sorry, that word. But he is weak because he won't fight you like a man. You don't need to be a man to pull a trigger, guys. A baby can get that gun and pull the trigger and kill somebody. A baby. Anyone can pull the trigger. It takes a man to stand up there and have a rip. That's called courage. There's people that quickly pull out the gun. They have a lack of courage. I see them walking around here. You see the difference. You'll see one, he'll walk normal. He'll just have his little bag, doing his own thing. Then you see those ones that are always ripping people off, got a bit of an issue, can't fight. They're always walking around a big stick or a bloody golf club or something like that. Because they know they're on the run from going to get hiding, you know. That's just the way that is too. We are here to add what we can, the best life, not to get what we can from it. That's the main key. We make a living by what we get and we work for. But we make a life by what we give and how we give. That's the afterlife, paving your way. You know, that's the whole thing. A devout person, they'll be all devout, paving the way, all the way to get to heaven, so you skip straight in. If there's anyone that's devout, I like those devout Hindus. They don't have sex. You know, they might bloody talk to snakes. That, forget his name now. He's a guru. I was watching him before I was watching anyone. You know, he was going all around the world. That bloke from India. He's a real guy. He's got real magic, that guy. And he's quite smart. But also in the end, when he had one of the chats on the YouTube live, I asked him a question, free question. I put on like $10, sent the $10 through the question. And I says, well, you're such a good guru, then why aren't you offering this for free? And then he knew. He said, you know, that's the smartest question I've ever been asked on my whole tour. See? He's sitting there preaching about this one and that one got the plate open, and he's got the fucking plate open himself. I just pointed that out. So, yeah. It's pretty simple, really. He wasn't doing it out of love, you know. I have to try and find his name, and then when I find his name, I'm going to actually put up a blog in my posts, which, because I think I've just gone over 400,000 views, they give me my own community page and all kinds of stuff now, so that's why I'm going live. I've got bloody 469 bloody live hours, and I need 3,000 before I can start getting monetized. So it's a long way. I need more people to watch like you do, Gordon. You know? And how's your kids going, Nat? How are you going with your family? How's your mother? Is she all right? I hope so. Might have to talk to you, send you a message, an email, a bit more, you know? We can have a bit more chat, so don't have to bother nobody with that bullshit. Who wants to know, you know? And we're already talking normal stuff anyways. Nothing about the family and what we're doing. What we all, we're good. Oh, that's good. That's good. And what was it? The golden goddess, Natasha, I think, your friend. Are you still hanging with her, or you have around? Who knows with you girls? Who knows? My experience is like, well, it's funny. My late partner, she was funny. She'd have a different character and a different act for every person. For the family, do different, you know. And that's one thing you couldn't. She said, "Don't ever make me go against the family." Michael said, "But you know that you did that." But you have to cut the blame for me because of my family. Oh, like that one, is it? So you know, it was to the end, and they realized. You know, yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing with that family. That was all hunky dory. I got the house, got everything for her, and when she got on her deathbed, because they didn't have control over where she was going and what was happening, they didn't like it. They're used to the Hollywood movie, you know. Everyone they when they come in with that, they're going to hook them up to that body box. Everyone's got to have a choice. No, because that family would have said, "Oh, well, we wanted to stop pain. We'll put her on that fentanyl that goes in that box." You know, like them guys bent over in the street. Well, I know from personal fact. My father said, when they put you on that box, that's the 5-day box. That's drugs that get administered to you over the next 5 days, just basically painkillers and that to keep you soothed so you'll die. When I hook you up to that little machine, it's a little automated little machine, little box, bang. That's when you know you're going. Your body's shutting down. So they're just gonna make it peaceful for you. Not kill you, just keep you safe and no pain. And well, I said no, we want the morphine. Because me and Kelly discussed this months before she got to a state where, she couldn't say things too much for herself. She could hear it, everything going on, but she just couldn't talk. That's the worst part. So I had to do the talking for her. And that was all signed off on that. Yes, it's hard to watch, very hard. That last breath is the hardest. But I will say this one thing. Now, people might see it as cruel and see it as heartless. And in a partial way, it may be. But at the end of the day, right, that wasn't such a sad moment as you would think. It was also a relief, in a sense. Relief that she no longer has to go through that pain. No longer has she to be an invalid, laying there, unable to look after herself, eat, or anything like that. That's terrible when you see them go like that, because you get to that stage where you can't clear yourself, and clear your lungs. They get to that state. When they get to that state, that's called, they start building what they call a narcoleptic fluid. And then they get that death rattle, because they can't clear it. And once that's done there, well, yes, that's the thing. It was a terrible moment. I give it that. No, I wouldn't want to go through it again. I'm probably going to have to. But you get that as life goes on. But of course I didn't want her to go, but that's the fact. She had to go. I couldn't keep her there like that, because that would be cruel. As it was, she got put on that box, and she got put on it for 5 days. Well, she was on it for bloody 2 weeks. And even the head nurse, she comes out and she says, she's only alive because you're doing intensive care to her. And I said, what's this intensive care? She says, oh, well, that's where you've got 2 nurses on shift, bloody 2 12-hour, you got 4 nurses, 2 at a time on bloody 12-hour shifts, and always looking after her. And she says, you're doing more than 4 of my nurses to keep her alive. So it's you doing everything that's keeping her alive. She's ready to go, Michael. I said, yeah, I know she's ready to go, but we're waiting for the brother to come from Tasmania. So when he got there, spent 2 nights with him. He couldn't handle seeing her like that, right? So, yeah, I did. I stood by her, and he went to stay with his dad. Well, that's the night that she decided that she's going to pull her final curtains. Because when they all left, I turned around to her, and I said to her, she wasn't speaking, I said to her, you're going to pull your stunt now, aren't you? And she just smiled and was laughing, and I said, oh, that was the best laugh I had out of her for a long while. She knew what she was going to do. I said, well, we'll put your favourite movie on, and we'll do this and do that. And that was the end of that. There you go. 9:43, or it was 8:43, because the nurse was coming around at 9 o'clock to give me a break to look after her for about 6 hours so I could have a sleep, because I hadn't slept for 12 days. But you get that. You get that in the beginnings. But you go there. That's it. And then, of course, you got the sister and the family. They want to carry on. The brother was the only one. Now, me and the brother, well, we had an altercation at once. And he's just an idiot when he drinks. But, I thought I'd had more trouble from him when she passed away. But no, he was the one on my side. The rest of the family was like, oh, yeah, we need an inquiry, do a toxicology report, do this, do that. And I'm sitting there and I couldn't do nothing, because all the power of attorney had been given to me. They could ask for it, and I said I had to sign over. So I said, all right, I'll clear you. I'll go along with your little thing. No, I know she died of her own. I watched her die, take the last breath. I had nothing to do with it. I didn't want her to go. I thinking I might have gave her a shot or something. But, she was already gone. That's the silliness of it. So I said, yeah, go and do that. knowing full well there would never be a coroner's report, there would never be an autopsy, and I'd sign straight off on it that she died from cancer. They didn't know that, but I already knew that, see, because I was dealing through Silver Chain. She was a Silver Chain patient. Built at home, see? Silver Chain signed off on her. And when that guy at the autopsy, coroner, state coroner, federal coroner, they ever see that, especially the one in this state, they call her a bloody Hitler or some reason. She's very strict. They see her signature on it, they'll just take what she says is how that person died. Simple as fact. She's got all these little badges and that. She's like, whatever she says, whatever she sees, what she says, they take as truth. She's one of those high up in society. You don't hear about them, but she's high up in society as the head nurse of all the Silver Chain. And she's also a doctor as well, so she's got the double degree. She's been that one for years. So yeah, so she signs off on it. That's because of, that's like if you got that, if she was in the hospital, right, they'd still want all that there in the hospital, look at them like, you're a fucking idiot. We was right here. She's our patient. She was their patient, you know what I mean? We had everything in the house, bar all those drips and that. The only thing that she had hooked up to her was that machine, which is an automated machine. I had nothing to do with touching that. I couldn't touch it because it was all locked up in a glass box, in a box. We had other drugs there. I had them in a steel case with a bloody lock on it because they wanted to keep it on there so they can bloody top it up, because it's like very, very hard to go to the chemist and everything. It's got to be stored in a secure place. It's very, very powerful morphine. Very powerful indeed. Can you imagine if they gave me the fentanyl? No, that's it. She wouldn't have seen her brother. But you get that. You get that in the big mix. You get that. Yes. So we had the emergency button, and that button, I pressed it to go straight to the police. And they said, what do you want? I said, oh, it's part of dying. And they said, oh, what? We're going to send the police around and start reporting. I said, no, it's Silver Chain. I said, they'll just automatically say, oh, divert me straight to the ambulance, and those police will have nothing to do with it. Silver Chain's pretty powerful. We signed into her long before that family even knew what was going on there. Because she wanted to die at home. She didn't want to die in the hospital, where we get a phone call and say, oh, she's taking her last breath now and not make it, you know. Put her, wheel her into the fucking corner and just leave her there like a slow learner type thing. She didn't want that. She's seen that happen to other people. Sort of what they tried to do to my old man until I stepped in. Barked up right out about that. When he died, same thing. We had to put him finally in the, and got him into up to Kalamunda Hospital near the bush, so he could at least look out to the bush. He wanted to go outside in the bush, and then he probably would have carcassed straight away. So we finally got him up to that one, and got the phone call. Oh, he's on his last. So we made it there before he passed away. So that was good. But you know, Kelly thought about that. Well, I don't want to be like that. You might not make it. So she wanted to die at home. That's how it was. You know, sit, put her into palliative care, got all the special fold-out beds, all the commode, all the bloody crap and caboodle that comes with it. Oh, wow. Converted the lounge room into a hospital room for the time being. All the time that's going on, you got the family bickering at me. I'm still trying to take those kids to school. It's like crazy. I hate to leave my convo. Yeah, yes, all right. You have to go, Gordon. Thank you for popping in. You're always welcome. You are General SPARTA. And I'll send you an email and we'll have a little chat a bit later about something. Maybe you could do a song and I could do something, you know, get you a few more subs than that. Help you out a little bit. You know, but that's, you know, that's a project I can get into another time. But for now, well, I'll just keep going for another 15 minutes. It's getting pretty dry, actually. I might dip over there for a couple of minutes and have a drink, because my mouth is getting dry, and when my mouth gets dry, I start getting tired for some reason and short of breath. Oh, Sagaraville, how are you going? Well, I'm going to go through. Was it you? Yeah. Saga, the good warrior. Yes, it did. Yeah. I seen you there. Sorry, Saga. Sometimes I get thinking of my own bullshit that I'm talking about that I don't get to really read the chat. But you get that. So I hope you're doing well. I see that you're back operating again your channel after having your break. It's like me. Sometimes you've got to step away, but sometimes I think, well, hang on a sec. I like to keep my 2 or 3, 4, 5, 10 shorts up a day. I've got it now. I can do those shorts. I used to take 4 hours to do one. Jeez. Now I can push them out in about 20 minutes if I'm really good. If I've got enough stored footage already. It's trying to generate the new footage. It's a bit hard. YouTube has now given us the ability to have AI talking in it. So I worked it out that you have to do half the scenery and what the person's in it, and then you could do like a passage of speech, but you can't do too much, otherwise it garbles. There's only one time it might come out clear, the next time it will come out all over the shop, and then you've got to specify what type of accent and whether it's English, because it will come out speaking Chinese or backwards, or some AI thing, will come out whistling, all kinds of crap. It's crazy. Some of the real glitchy ones I saved because some of them is like, oh, why did you generate that when I just said that she's supposed to be walking in? It's crazy. So I don't know what goes on in that AI computer's brain sometimes. Yes, but yes, when I get my own computer, my own program, well, I won't be restricted. Because that restricts you to certain, it will recognize a name of someone. And they'll just say, we cannot generate a real person. So, okay. I say, you've got to trick it. You can't put Diddy in there. Oh, I might try to put I try to do my shorts, buddy. No big dicks. 4 years at Big Dicks. I try to get that monkey to say bloody Diddy in it. It just will not bloody animate. It will not even show you. Sorry, try again. So they got a few words in the algorithm mix. No, Jag's another name. You use her name, they'll just pounce straight on that. So I've worked out a way around that, though. Oh, yes, I have. I have worked out a way around that. It sort of works. I've just got to get the body right. And if the body's right, sometimes it animates and it's pretty much, not quite looks like her, but it's very much like her. Now, if I had my own AI, I'd be able to just get a photo, upload that, they'll do the bloody print over that. I said I want to make AI with her face on it all the time, and it'll just do that all the time. And then, I can make it like everyone comes to SPARTA, gee. I mean, I got us all doing up backflips and coming in and bashing people and running and all that day, and I guarantee you, not many of us could jump a skateboard. No, they'll get run over. I can't do a backflip over a house. I can't run around with thousands of arrows out hanging at me. I wish I could, but you know what I mean? I'm sure you girls can't run as fast as I got you sprinting around the whole of fucking Sparta up in the mountains. Up the mountains too, girls. Yeah. Covering miles there, bloody patrolling the border. Yeah, that's what you got to look at it like that. He's always on the run, news girls. And I guarantee you, we're all not like that in real life. That's why I like this AI. That's why I like what I can do. Because when everyone comes to Sparta, I can make everyone sort of beautiful. In a sense. If they don't like it, well, they can always tell me I don't like it. And I can make them something else. Or nothing at all. Or if they piss me off, I'll make them a bad guy. It all depends on how you enter. How you enter the thing. My shorts, they be all over the shop, yes. But to me, they got, I can tell you exactly what's going on if I sit down, and then it'll make a lot more sense. Each short, actually, each short. Well, I'm a little bit thirsty. I'm going to stay on for another 10 minutes. I just got to pop over there for a drink and go to the toilet for a quick second. So just bear with me. I'm going to put the mic down for a few minutes, and I'll be back. So get yourself a drink or a coffee or Sit there and twiddle your thumbs if you wish. I'll back shortly, guys. Oh, nearly stood on the store right from the foot. How about that? Yes, I can't prop. Hello, back again. Sorry about that. Just having a bit of a drink. Wet my throat. This is Mr. Pepsico. He was right there, wasn't he, bud? You seen it with me, didn't you? It was just me and you, and we watched her take her last breath, didn't we, bud? Yep. And this cat for a whole year, stood at that window, looking out, waiting for her to come home. And she never came home. Oh, I know, you're a Meowie. He was her familiar. He would go and bloody sleep on her bed and stuff like that. That was her cat. So yeah. Mr. Pepsico, or Peppy as we called him. He's actually from hell. He's actually from Menzies, that cat. My niece, she got the cat from her girlfriend who lived in Menzies. Her mum lives in Menzies, and they had a female cat have all these kittens. And the old Tom out there is big. I seen the bloody father. He's a big ass Tom. They didn't want him to be running around out there being feral, so she grabbed the cat, and they couldn't really look after him too well because I was only in a little apartment with no yard. So they decided that no, we want the cat, so we got the cat off him. And it was a good thing. Kelly reckoned this was the best thing you could have ever done. I said, what do you mean? She says, well, you know how I got the cancer and now you brought this cat in? You know, it's got a little bit of life back in me. So she got a little bit of life back. I think we actually got him just before. And that cat, we used to play chasey with him. And this cat here, like it's exactly like you see in the wild, where the cheetah's chasing the bloody prey. This cat, he chased the kids down the hallway, and he just put his paw out, not even no claws, and just put it in front, hook it in front of their bloody ankle as they step up, and over they go. It was just a laugh to watch. Playing hide and seek, like you look down the hallway, and you look back and go out behind the wall, and you look and you get closer, you know, and then closer and closer, and he popped the cat. But yeah, he got really retracted. And he's only just recently starting to get really like emotional towards me, coming up to me. But he doesn't like being grabbed. He's very meowy cat. And then we got Maxwell, the other cat. Well, he just lays there and lets you bloody pat the shit out of him. But then he gets to a point when he's overstimulated, and you see him go stiff, and that's when he's like real scary face. With that cat, he's 9.5 kilos, and if he grabs on, he grabs on. It's like, oh my god. I still got the fang marks in my leg here. They bit right through the jeans. Just fighting with this cat. Two male cats, of course. They both still got their bloody dice hanging. So they're both a bit allergic. Never been outside. I open up the door, they'll run out a little bit. That's about it. No, not outside cats. Yes, Peppy. Peppy the cat. Or Pepsico. I call him Pepsico. What do, Peppy? Yes, that's the other cat out there. Oh, them wildcats, baby. Gee. It's funny that. It's funny, cats. I used to put my foot up their ass all the time. Oh, yeah. Out there in the bush, they call them putty cats, like they do with old Sylvester. Oh, look at the putty cat. And I'll eat them. But they're huge out there. They're big. Australia is one of the only places in the whole world where the government actually released cats to try and eradicate the fucking the rabbit. Well, they ate everything but the flaming rabbit, didn't they? And we've got cat colonies out there, right? Cat colonies up to about 300 or 400 cats strong, living out of old sheds or out of out of an old bloody rock hill. And usually, when you've got a cat colony, it's the female cat that's in charge. Now, she goes into queen mode, right? They go into a pack mentality. She goes into queen alpha mode. What I mean by that is she will only allow 2 other females other than herself to breed, right? Any other female caught breeding out of wedlock, she'll kill them, right? She's got food tasters. She's got scouts, and she's got soldiers, right? She's got hunters. She knows which ones are stronger to hunt, which ones do. She's got a whole hierarchy system going. So it's not just a bunch of cats. You know, where they're all feral. They get a hierarchy system going, and the queen operates that colony. And they operate like an efficient machine sometimes. And they're very successful in hunting. And each cat as well, they're on the run and they're looking for food. They can eat little snacks on the way. But generally you'll find when they work in a cat colony, they'll bring all that food back like they're proper lions. All that back to her. That's the female cat, not the male cat that rules the roost. And she'll have 2 or 3 males that she'll breed with, and she'll only let them breed. She's very cat colonies. Yes, Australia has released a lot of pests from other countries to try and deal with our things. When they had the cane over here, they had a thing called the cane bug in it. It was eating all the sugar cane. So they thought, oh, what lives in there? Oh, bloody. I noticed those bloody cane toads. They were the bloody poison sacs, and they love eating that. But that was only localized in the area where they're originally from, see? Didn't have the chance to expand because it was a mountainous territory. So they got this frog from this jungle type area, which is, not spread much. And then they bring it over to here to the most pristine frog environment you can get when it's raining. And then they go and eat everything but the fucking bug. They eat everything but the bug. Anything that thing can get its mouth around, they'll eat. Baby lizards, baby birds, baby whatever, And you can't go attacking them. Anything goes attacks them, they die because of the poison. I mean, those people over in Queensland, they'll squeeze them out, dry it out, and fucking smoke it. It's crazy, them, toad diggers. You should ask Nick about that. You know about those. Smoking that bloody crap. Crazy. But yes, and then introduced that, and now they spread right across the top of Australia. And they were never supposed to get into WA. We've been keeping them out for years. Well, they're in WA now. They're up there, and they got show over the border. They're not down here in Perth yet. We don't want them to get down here into the water system. They get down here into this water system here, that's it. Your freshwater crayfish, marlin will disappear. All your bloody native little fishes that are already been decimated by the perch and all the bloody other fish that they've chucked in it. They shouldn't be there. Terrible. And that bug gets down here, they'll just wipe everything out. It's like the kookaburra. The kookaburra is not native to the whole of Australia. It is now. But it never was before. The kookaburra was generally an eastern states bird, right? And when they come over to West Australia, they got used to when they got walk over there, the kookaburra in the morning, laughing at. And they thought, oh, this will bring a few over here. Well, there was no known predator of a kookaburra over here, and kookaburra is just a big kingfisher. And again, well, anything he can get his lips on, he'll eat. Lizards, snakes, anything. Other birds, anything. Fish. Kookaburra is a big kingfisher, the biggest of the lot. Right? They're a meat eater. Right? So they eat all little native animals, all little marsupials, all those little marsupials, and they cleaned everything up. Now you come here and it's fucking dead silent most of the bush. So very eerie. Because of the kookaburra. There's an introduced species to West Australia and it destroyed the ecosystem. Now they're everywhere. Too late now. People thought, but that's Australian bird. No. Eastern States bird. Maybe one day it eventually would have got over here. But it didn't have to be helped along. That's funny that. They'll have that in documentaries. Oh, we can't help that penguin. Even though the other day they did. We just have to let that chick get killed. We just film it because that's nature. We can't get in this way. We can't interfere. But they can interfere and move nature around whenever they bloody want. See, that's smorgasbord and things. We got dominion over these things. Doesn't mean we control them and spank them and fucking tell them what to do. It means we can help them too, Been cases you watch online there. In cases with some strange cases with some really dangerous creatures have been coming up and getting help from humans. White pointer sharks coming up, putting their sides up, and they wonder what that's for, and they find it's got all these hooks in it. Actually lays there and lets them get the hooks out. Got a big tiger shark comes up, started butting the boat. This is attacking us. No, it's doing it. It's trying to get our attention. And they followed it, and they kept coming back and bang, and they followed it. So we'll follow it. They followed it to this whale. This whale was having a hard time swimming. Had all the net wrapped around his tail. So they straight away got that and cut all the bloody off his tail. And that was a shark that usually would bite the tail of that whale till the whale could swim no more and then just bite whatever he wants off it. Oh, a 3 meter to 4 meter tiger shark, or white pointer, that's the great white. They all eat whales. It's not hard for them to eat the whale. They can't eat the whole lot, but they can kill a whale. Simply by they'll just come behind every time that the whale's got his fin, they'll just keep biting bits of that tail off. Eventually, it'll bleed out. There won't be enough tail for it to propel itself, and then the rest of the predators will move in. It's very cunning. It's very cruel. It can happen. That shark could follow that bloody whale for 6 hours, biting at it until no tail left, just a stump. And that's it. The whale can't push himself forward no more, and then usually the shark's finished with it. It's full of bloody tail. No, they'll come and hang around that carcass and they'll eat it. Yes. Strange, that. And they come up and ask for help. And you got all these creatures out in nature, especially the Australian creatures. An English guy, Tom, he explained to me, he says, you Australian creatures, he reckons, like when they get a hit, they just curl up and die. And then I explained it to him, I says, well, because everything here is on the extreme. The extreme level of the land is that basically, unless we resuscitate most of the land, you can't really grow nothing yet, and that's already growing there. She's old. She's a very old country. The soil is very depleted. It's got a lot of minerals. That's why a lot of these minerals in West Australia are exposed for the mining industry and the industry of the world. We want that metal. We want that gold. We want that bloody materials. If you want your iPhones, you want your bloody electric cars, you want your wires, well, you got to get the Marin copper from the Marin gold mine and the copper mine, and then you got to get all the lithium mines, and now they're working out that aluminium, which when you make aluminium, it doesn't explode. Where lithium, if you pull your bloody lithium batteries open, and it'll be a little sheet that's folded. You unfold that, and that's lithium. It's being put into a metal casing. It generates energy, right? You got to chuck that in water and run like hell because it's going to explode like buggery. That's how dangerous it is. Your phones and that, these phones and that. Get a tiny little crack in them, get a little bit of water in them, and they'll explode. I might get a lithium battery, cut it open, and show you as an experiment. And just show you how dangerous it really is. Right? But you don't have that problem with aluminium. Now, aluminium folded in that sort of pattern too can hold more charge and charge faster, apparently, through bloody, what's his name? The guy that owns Tesla. Yeah, that guy. Now he was talking about that bullshit. But that's it, the new aluminium battery. There you go. So technology is getting better and better all the time. So the lithium mines, they thought, oh shit, we're going to have to go overtime now because they're going to talk about these new style of batteries. And they've got all these new lithium mines that open up. So when they build that out, lithium, and it's being refound, so it's just lithium in the ton, that's about $2,000 a ton. Then they shift it down to Kwinana here to when they refine it, to the grade where they can tack it into batteries and that. But when they refine it, it turns into $22,000 a ton. Right? Yeah, and then it's got to be exported. So whatever price is going on from there and there and there and there. You know? And that's why you'll find it's so expensive. That's the thing. But now they're going to go aluminium again. So we'll see how we go there. Aluminium, eh? Aluminum, as America, aluminum. I call aluminium. It's a strange process to get that aluminium. In fact, you're not allowed to really go into an aluminium refinery unless you've got permission. The Alcoa aluminium refinery up there, you need to be like family almost before they'll give you a job there. To pass down some of the things they do there, how they process it. It's very funny. What chemical is used to get that aluminium, you know? But I've been told that's just strange. No, they reckon when it comes under the periodical scale, when they look at aluminium, we've accepted it, put it into it because we've got it. But it's alien to all the other metals. Okay, just that it's a little bit alien to all the other metals the way it's cross-structured in the bloody microscopic way. More like it's from an asteroid that's fallen. You can look at that with gold too. They kind of reckon gold wasn't from Earth. That's why there's only a certain amount. I think, well, maybe they're right, maybe they're not. I don't know. Some of our volcanoes spew out gold, so maybe they're wrong. Right? Because the gold is like someone's bloody had a whole bunch of hot gold and just left drops coming out of a bucket down across the desert, and where it's all dropped. Because the gold looks like it's being dropped as hot liquid in the spot where it is. So this is very strange. Very strange indeed. And you've got it all bloody inside the rocks too. So I reckon there's natural gold and there's other gold that's, I don't know, being seeded kind of way. Very, very, not many spots left where you can walk out and you will still find those little gold nuggets sitting on the ground without any dust over them. You know, a lot of people go walk that. You look at the sky map now, when you look down at some of the bloody Australian deserts, she's all been squared. I mean, you'll go down there and you won't see that. That'll be just all bush. But from off sky, you can see where they've actually put squared, where they've gone through, checked on a grid pattern. Yes. Well, I'll be traveling out there soon. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Trying to earn myself some real money. Get my detector going, and well, who knows? I could start getting popular doing one of those gold detective shows like those guys do. Well, they're pretty popular, way popular than me. I can't understand. I'm the real archangel. I got a bloody form there from the government that says I got some bloody killer stones in my pocket and I'm chasing a dragon. And yet these guys that all on these other channels, all this Archangel Michael Hertz, number 434 Hertz, the sound of Archangel Michael. They got like 200,000 followers or monetized and that, and they got fuck all to do with it, but a couple of bullshit hymns, brainwashing people with some brainwash music. It's crazy. The real guy's sitting right here, guys. Right here in front of you. That's crazy. That's just cruel. You know, I could be like that too, you know? But why should I? Most of them won't even cam up. Crazy. All a scam. It's like there's one on there. She's a golf girl, and she makes all these golf pictures and everything. Well, I know it's not even her. I know that's bloody uh, someone else posing as her. She's not actually putting that content out. Oh, here we're gonna go. It's gonna go. Well, I'm gonna go because it's gonna strike me, and the video is getting funny. And the virus is gonna kick in again. So, this is the Archangel Michael signing off for now. Thank you for Saga Reveal for coming in, and also Golden earlier before. And anyone else who wanna rock up the Lord's prayers at the beginning? I'll catch you next time. Yeah, see you soon. Take care, Saga.